Hello, everybody. I am Greg Coleman of The Made Face, and I'm coming to you live on location from my kitchen. No, I am not going to be doing a cooking demonstration, although I'm sure I could probably concoct some amazing delicacy from, somewhere in the world, and you would all enjoy it, and I'm sure it would please your tummies greatly. However, today I am in the kitchen for a very important reason, and that is because I am going to be going over and teaching you all about the basics of brush care. Now, I have said in many different videos that it's a really awesome thing. I have got an itch on my nose, and it will not stop. And no, I have not been snorting Coke. I gave that up a long time ago. Just kidding. I've never done that. Anyway, I am going to be talking all about brush care because brushes are very expensive. And I've told you many times before that if you're going to be investing money in something, brushes are the way to go. So I'm going to be teaching you how to care for your brushes. I know! I've never seen a tutorial like this. I don't know if this exists anywhere else. So this could be the only place you can come to get this. I don't know. I haven't really done much research on it, to be honest with you. But anyways, so let me just tell you a few things about brushes. Let's start at the basics. So how do you wash your brushes? How do you care for them? If you're someone who uses brushes on a daily basis, you definitely want to wash them at least once a week. So I always tell ladies, put it on your calendar, just like when you wash your car, oh, I'm going to wash my car on Saturday. Perfect. Wash your brushes too. But don't wash them by washing the car with them and using soap like that. So what do you use to wash your brushes once a week? Now, if you're someone who doesn't wear makeup very often, maybe once a week you wear makeup, that's fine. Wash your brush at least once a month. Okay, because you want to make sure you get all that color and all that product out of the brushes, and you want to make sure you're conditioning the bristles. Most brushes are made out of some sort of animal hair, not human hair. Doesn't come from India. Isn't the good stuff, ladies. It's made from some sort of animal hair. For example, this brush right here is made of an animal hair. I forget what animal it's made of. I think squirrel. But it is a brush made of animal hair. And if you don't take good care of these brushes, you're going to find that the bristles are going to start breaking, falling off, and getting misshapen. And your brush is going to get more and more wimpy looking. Okay, so how do you care for your brushes? Here's some things you don't want to use. These are things literally that clients of mine have told me they clean their brushes with, and I am continually shocked. Shh, dogs. They always have to be by my feet in every video. So do not wash your brushes with your favorite hand cleaner. Hands and brushes do not mix. You do not want to use this on your brushes. Why? It's probably going to dry your brush out, so don't use that. I'm not going to throw it because I love that. Do not use your favorite shampoo. No, don't do it. It's made for human hair. Now, would you use this on your pet doggy? If you do, then you're not doing the proper thing because their pH balance is way different than your pH balance, and you might cause some damage. And it will even say that on the package of your favorite doggy shampoo. Don't use anything but this. So don't use this on your brushes. No, no, no. Do not use your favorite dog shampoo. I know you're thinking, well, wait a minute, you just said I couldn't use my hair shampoo, but these are all made of animal fibers, so I should be able to use. No. Listen, your dog and a squirrel probably wouldn't use the same shampoo. So use something specially formulated for brushes. Don't use your favorite dish detergent. No, no, no. It will dry those brushes out. Don't use your favorite body wash. No, it'll dry your brushes out. Don't use your favorite facial cleanser. No, pH balance is different on the face than in brush's hair. Like, seriously, there's no pH in these anymore. They're cut off the animal. They're dead. So don't use that. So what can you use? I like a good brush shampoo, one specially made for brushes. This is one by Bare Minerals that I do really, really like. It conditions the bristles really well. I believe this size, a 4-ounce bottle, is about $16, if I'm not mistaken. That's kind of expensive, I get it. But literally, this bottle has lasted me at least a good year. Use a tiny, tiny bit, and I'm going to show you a way today that you can really cut back on how much you use when you're washing your brushes, when I get to that demonstration in a moment. Okay, so I like this one. I just found this actually on eBay. I just reordered because this bottle is almost empty. I just reordered it. It's usually $16. I found it on eBay. Someone was selling it on a bid system for. I won the bid at $4, and I had to pay $2.92 for shipping. So $6.92. I got a really killer deal. So look around for deals on brush cleaners. If you can find it for under $6, you're finding a really good deal, and it will last you a long time, especially if you're using it once a week or once a month. Okay, so think of that. We're going to get back to that in a moment. All right, so washing your brushes. Oh, the other thing I wanted to show you is a brush cleaner. I highly recommend, because most of you are not going to have over 250 brushes like I do. I have a lot of brushes. I have a little bit of a hoarding problem when it comes to brushes. But a brush cleaner is a great thing to use in between your uses. So I'm going to show you really quickly how to use that. Always have your paper towels handy when you're cleaning your brushes. And all you're going to do with this is a once, like if say you're transitioning from one color to another color and you want to, make sure you get the color out. So as you can see here, all you're going to do is spray onto the paper towel, take your brush, and just start moving it back and forth onto the paper towel. Okay, this is going to disinfect. There's a little bit of alcohol in there, but it also conditions. So it's going to condition. I like to kind of wring it out through there just to get all the color out and reshape the brush a little bit. And this brush basically is now clean. You can see the color. Can you see that? I don't know if you can really see that. Well, there is color there. I don't know if you can really see on this white. There you go. Maybe you can see it there. But now the brush is basically clean, and then you still want to wash this like once a week, once a month, but it's basically clean. The color's out, it's disinfected, and it's ready to go for your face. So in between colors, if you're changing colors midstream, you're like, oh, use a brush cleaner in a spray bottle. I got this at Sephora for maybe $2.50, seriously. Okay, so now let's move on to how do you clean your brushes. First of all, always have a paper towel or group of paper towels ready, right back here. I'm going to be setting the brushes on here when I'm done with each one. So what I do is I like to group them together. These are all brushes I need to clean. Shh, quiet. These are all brushes I need to clean. So I group them together by size. So like these 3 brushes clearly are dirty, and they're about the same size. So I like to group them together. I turn on my water. You want to make sure your water is lukewarm. So let's get that started. I'll just wait. I live in an old house, and it takes a little while to warm up the water. Oh, here we go. We're starting to get warm here. So basically what I do is I first get the brushes nice and damp. One thing you want to avoid, that's really high powerful. There we go. I'm going to turn it down a little bit more. There we go. Get the brushes damp. One thing you want to avoid is you want to avoid holding them up. I'm doing it right now, but holding them up like this, because the water is going to seep down into this metal part, and this is glued on here. So a lot of times if too much water gets in there, it's going to cause this to separate. I'm going to give you a tip and a technique on how to fix that, but don't let that happen. Also, do not submerge your brushes into water. I know a lot of people have done that. They get their basin full of water and put a little shampoo in there and just throw them in there and let them soak. Don't let them soak. Handles typically are wood or plastic, but that glue in there is going to kind of start getting, and it's going to come apart, and your bristles are going to get all nasty. So get them nice and wet. Then what I like to do is take a little bit of the brush shampoo, about a dime size amount, into the palm of my hand, and I'm just going to start swirling around into that brush shampoo, okay? Just like this. Just swirling, swirling, swirling. Now you can probably see on my hand there's a little muddy puddle. See that? Little muddy puddles occurring here. And that's all that color being washed out of those brushes. So I group them together to save on shampoo. And then all you do is just rinse them out really good. It's a little hot. Okay, just turn it down a little bit. Rinse them out really, really good. Like so. And you can already see that they are looking a lot cleaner than they were before. And then what I like to do is kind of shake them out a little bit, tap them out on the side of the sink, just tap them. And then I kind of run my fingers through just to kind of get all the excess water out. I tap them on a paper towel. And here's a very important part of this. On the edge of the paper towel, over your edge of your counter, let them hang a little bit. So let the bristle part hang over the edge to dry. That will allow air circulation all the way around the bristle, and it will dry a lot quicker that way. Okay, so let's move on to the next little set of brushes. These are about the same size here, so we're going to use those two. I usually wait a little longer. I'm actually going to do this one too that I just cleaned, that needs a good cleaning. So get a little bit of brush into about a dime size amount. Get these wet. Go right into your brush it, your cleaner. And around we go. Whee! Rinse them out. With a fluffier brush, you definitely want to take a little more time. Get your fingers right into those bristles. Tap them out. Once you see that they run clean again, tap them out. Give them a little squeeze to reshape the bristles. Give them a little tap on your paper towels back here on both sides. Look at me. And then lay them right on the end of the counter with the bristles hanging over, like so. Okay? So that's it. I got one more brush I want to show you because it's a bigger, fluffier brush. And that's the last of that. Okay, so a little bit in my hand, get it wet. I mean, this is really redundant, I know. See, it's setting up and getting nice and pretty. Work it through the brush. With these bigger, fluffy brushes, work your fingers through the bristles and then rinse it out. I can see my water down there is very cloudy, so that means it's getting clean. And squeeze. With these, you really want to squeeze and reshape them. Make sure you're not squeezing and reshaping this way. Tap it out a little bit to fluff it out a little. Tap it on your paper towel just to get excess water out. I like to reshape these again and then put them right on the edge of the counter. Bam! Okay. How's that? That was wonderful, right? Okay. So there you go. I have a few more brushes I'm going to wash a little bit later, but I'm going to tell you a few more techniques. So some brushes, like this one's dirty, you can see it's a double-sided brush. Now, you wash these the same way, but what I'm going to talk about now is storing your brushes because it's very important to store your brushes correctly. You do not want to just throw them into a bag. What happens when you do that is they get all misshapen and they just get gross and you end up having to throw them away at some point because when you're applying your blush or whatever, you got little hairs sticking out this way and you get a little weird mark here. You get a blank space where the blush should be because you're sweeping it on and it's like there's parts that are missing. Not cute. So they do sell little containers with lids. Mac sells them, a lot of other places. But you know what? I'm frugal with some things. With other things, I'm not. But with some things, I'm very frugal. I don't like to spend a lot of money. So I devise a new system that's awesome. So this is how I store my brushes. These are containers that Crystal Light comes in. I just took the labels off. You can label these if you want. I don't label mine because I change it up depending on where I'm going to do makeup. I don't like to have them all labeled. But I have right now I have all my eye brushes and concealer brushes in here. These aren't all of them. This is just some that I travel with. And then these are like blush and blending and bronzer brushes, things like that. I have another one here with some larger brushes in there. You can see. Really important when you're doing this is do not pack them too full because that will also cause them to be misshapen. But you can see these look really nice and fluffy. Just drop them in here all at the same time and that will make them lay perfectly for you. Drop the lid on and bam, they are stored for you, ready to go. For your longer brushes, I just use, this is a drinking bottle that I got for free at the Botanical Garden in Chicago, and it's big and tall. I put all my longer brushes in here. Simple. It works great. For storing your double-sided brushes, that's where I was going with this. What I like to do, now some of your brushes are like this. They will come with a little plastic doodad on one end to protect that. So when you lay them down, you never want to lay your brushes like this. You always want to put them up and down when you store them, just because you don't want the bristles, again, to get misshapen. So if it comes with a little guy like this, a little plastic cylinder, can you see that? Save that, because you want to be able to put that back on, and then you can just drop your brushes, your double-ended brushes, right inside wherever you're storing your face brushes or your eye brushes, and it'll be perfectly safe. If it doesn't, or if you threw that away and you're like, oh damn, I threw it away, then here's a good solution. So don't use anything too sticky, but press and seal by Glad or Saran wrap is perfect. Just take a little square of that, you know, cut off a little square of that Saran wrap. Take your brush like so, and take the end that you know you're going to be putting down, so the smaller end typically, and just wrap it around that end. And make sure it has a nice, so I wrap it like this, and then I just make sure it has a nice bulky base down there, and it'll stick right onto your brush and give some security, like so. Okay, so it doesn't look really that pretty right now, but that's all you do. So it looks basically like this when you are done. Just wrap it around, make it nice and tight, give it a little bit of a secure base. Then you can just stick this right down inside of your container that you're using to store all of your brushes. This one's a little full, so I would have to do a different one, but whatever. So basically, that's it. That's so simple. One more little technique and trick, I'm going to stick that in that one, is this. So I had a brush not too long ago that came off its base. This brush right here, it actually came apart right here from the handle and the metal part. All you got to do is glue that son of a gun back together. Okay? So I use E6000. This is and you can find these in craft. It's an industrial strength adhesive, and I use it for a lot of things. I glued this back together, and it is very secure. I have glued shoes. When the inside sole of a shoe, like summer shoes, it will come off and start flopping off because of foot sweat, because you're not wearing socks or whatever. I have taken this and glued those down. I know people who will take their costume jewelry, and if a jewel pops off, they take a little dab of this and stick it back together. You can do craft projects with this. It's really good. It's like $6 or $7 for a tube. It lasts you forever. I've got like several tubes, so I always forget I have it and I buy more. But E6000, great to fix all your little brushes, okay? If you have a brush that's really like the hairs are all wonkety, you can trim those if you want. Just take some scissors and kind of trim those little hairs off, but just be careful. You don't want to trim too much. It can start looking a little crazy and it won't make the makeup lay appropriately. If you're looking for some really good brushes, there's a lot of companies that have them. I'm not going to recommend any particular company right now, just because do your research, look at reviews, and just take good care of your brushes, and they will last a lot longer. Okay? So I hope this has been helpful. Sorry I went really long. I'm very long-winded. I tried to talk really fast so I could get it all in here. But I do appreciate you, and thank you so much for watching. Again, washing? Well, yeah, thanks for watching. Again, I'm Greg Coleman, and I'm with The Made Face. Have a wonderful day, and until the next time I see you, here's to looking beautiful and having beautiful brushes. Bye.